What is going on, guys? My name is Tom and welcome back to my channel. As you may or may not know, I'm currently an architecture student, and today I will be reacting to a video called A Contemporary Family Home Designed for Luxury and Volume. But before we get into it, make sure you obliterate the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and without further ado, let's jump into the video right now.
I am the design manager at Mckimm, and today we are at Project 342, the North House. This house was designed by Lorenzo Garizio, the principal designer at Mckimm, and my father. Lorenzo's vision for the North House was to celebrate volume. When you see the North House from the street, its volume is perceived in one way. You see the feature concrete, the arches, the curves, the zinc. As you're crossing the bridge to the front door, you feel the depth of the basement beneath. You get a glimpse at the mystery beyond. Your eye line spans across the length of the property.
So a couple of things that I noticed, she talks about working with volumes, and since there's a lack of ornamentation, usually what will make the building more interesting to look at are the details and the depth that is created through these volumes and the pushing and pulling of them, as well as the voids that are in the facade. She also talked about sightlines, and that is one way to make architecture more experiential, and there are many precedents that have used this strategy before. And when sightlines are successful, they will spark curiosity, a buildup of anticipation, as well as exploration throughout the space.
My personal favorite space in the project is the sunken living room that's in the center of the home, that draws in from all of the spaces around it, and that celebrates the double height volume, that lets the western sunlight in the afternoon, and that has a relationship with the staircase beyond.
This particular site is situated in one of the best parts of Brighton. It's a beautiful tree-lined street with wide nature strips that lead down to the beach. During the project, the clients were able to add on a property to the rear, which actually became their tennis court.
The client's main focus here was to incorporate arches in the design. The way we responded to that was by incorporating them on the front facade in a way that balanced the rest of the home, but also in their non-traditional sense, bringing in curves in the form of circles, in skylights and wall cutouts, complementing the concrete and the zinc nearby.
I like that they didn't include any arches in the facade and that they kept that concrete honest to the volume concept. The subtlety of the arches in the recessed windows and the arch-like details that are found throughout the house is much more effective.
I think this particular project is a great example of collaboration between the Mckimm design department and our clients. If I go back to the start of the journey together, our clients brought in many different images. It did create a flavour and a theme, and I think the thing I'm most proud of is that our design department worked hand in hand with our clients to actually try and include as much of that as we possibly could, but still trying to design and deliver a home that was functional and had great flow. It actually shows a benefit in really listening to your clients and delivering what they want. You know, if we look at the recycled bricks on the wall of this sunken lounge room, I know that our client went and selected those herself, and to see them in place and in situ is a great thing for us, but it's also very nice for them to be able to sit there and know that they selected those bricks. That was their choice, along with many other elements of this home.
Now I'm just thinking, when you do a home that is this catered to one specific person, I wonder how difficult it would be to resell this house, because I would imagine that not everyone would want this type of house.
My favourite part of this home is probably the staircase. It's the core of the home. It's almost like the engine room of the home. Everything seems to revolve around that. If you're at ground level, it leads you into a sunken lounge in both the living areas. If you're at basement level, it leads you into a beautiful bar area.
The staircase is definitely the highlight of the home, and it seems that everything is based off of that. When you do that, it starts to create a hierarchy within the project, and you can then look at it to understand what the most important aspects of the project were.
The sunken courtyard here creates an amazing amount of natural light down to that basement and that living space. It actually makes it. But not only that, it's ended up forming part of a really dramatic entrance that you come in over a bridge looking down onto that courtyard. This particular project showcases the benefits of being a design and construction business. We can assess clients' desires, needs, and let them know from a cost perspective or even an engineering perspective whether or not that's possible. Of course, we like to explore options. We like to explore everything that a client wants to do. But I guess we're in a position to be able to give them the right advice fairly quickly without having to go through the formal process of actually appointing a builder.
Okay, so there's a lot of different types of firms out there. This one happens to be a design build, meaning that they have architects as well as contractors on staff. And there are pros and cons to this. The pros are that everything happens under one roof and there's generally a better understanding of the project, and it's also easier to go back and forth in terms of communication. The cons are that you can't shop around. Design build firms tend to be a little more expensive than some of the other business models because you can't speak to other contractors to make sure you're getting the best price possible or even a fair price for the type of project that you are trying to do.
The family are a very busy household. It's great to hear how the home works day to day, getting ready for school, getting ready for work, integrating with the dogs, having their own space and private zones where they can play musical instruments and do other things really works well here.
This home has a beautiful feel and soul to it. The design, the flow, just feels so good. It feels like a sanctuary, somewhere you just want to rest and be chilled at home.
Proud of the entire team for working together to consolidate Mckimm's ideas with the client's ideas, and proud to see this end result here and the way the family integrate in the home.
Okay, overall, it is a very well-designed house, and I can tell that a lot of thought and effort went into it. I may be wrong, but Louis Kahn may have been an influence for this design because many of the elements that we see in this house have appeared in his work. So you may notice an opening in the facade of some of his work, and this is done to allow light to come in a very specific and intentional way. But this was a great video, very poetic in a way. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn post notifications on so you get notified every time that I upload. Thank you again so much for watching, and until next time. What's up, everyone? So there is something that I forgot to mention about Louis Kahn, and I realized that after I was already done editing the video, so I figured I would just tack it on at the end. But he is a world-famous architect and has many well-known pieces of architecture around the world, one of which is the Salk Institute. But one thing that I forgot to mention was his relationship with light. I didn't touch on it as much as I should have. So one super important aspect, he saw light as a material and not just a byproduct of the sun. And that's really crucial to understand why he has those openings on the facade in the locations that he put them. But that's all. Peace, everyone.